Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Secret Art of Business. And today I have Alan Imbarrato today, and he is the president of KeyBiz Systems. Thank you so much for being here today, Alan.
Well, it's a pleasure having the opportunity to be with your listeners. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited because I'm going to have you first talk about KeyBiz Systems. Let's hear what that business is all about.
All right, Kiba Systems started in about 1986 when I was doing personal growth seminars, transformational seminars all over the country. And it evolved 10 years later into a software business where we now create business software that runs entire companies. So we have businesses all over the world, from China, Japan, Canada, UK, all over the United States, that we run all different kinds of businesses: retail, manufacturing, professional services, event management, all these different kinds of companies. We create a ERP, CRM, accounting, point of sale system, and I have a team of about 14 developers where we customize it to make it work exactly as each company needs it to do.
And I'm guessing that since the 80s, since you started the business, you've seen a lot of things. What would you consider to be like the biggest change you've had to face? And I know there's many because even in my 20 years of business, I've seen a lot. But what was like a real, um, change thing that happened that you're like, okay, here's this is going to impact a lot, and here's what we're going to have to change.
Well, we first started our business when the first Macintosh came out, and we jumped on that, and we really got into using the Mac to run our seminar business. And then when the iPhone came out, I got really involved in creating apps, and that changed our business. But
Wow. Yeah.
technology has been like the driver. I have tried to keep up with all the learning curves. There's always new ones. Now I'm working on the learning curve of AI. We're incorporating AI into our software. So it's always exciting and challenging to keep in that momentum of learning and growing.
I mean, I have to applaud you for that, for just being in a tech business, again, with so much change happening. But I'm going to mention before I forget that that was not enough for you, that you wanted to start another business. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, as I mentioned, I started off doing a seminar business, which created a tape package called Winning at Work and at Life. And I did that seminar all over the country. And then I did an infomercial on TV in the 90s
Oh my goodness.
and sold the tapes. And then when that sort of ran its course, I switched over to software. But when the iPhone came out and the App Store opened up, I came back to it in 2011 and created an app called Stress Shifter, which incorporated a lot of the principles into how to help a person shift their stress mindfully. So we have a course called Mindful Stress Shifting that teaches people skills on how to inquire within themselves to understand what their triggers are and how to get back into the flow. And so now we're working on a new app we're about to release called Key Flow, which uses AI to help a person quickly go from being a stressed back into a flow state.
That is really incredible. Be perfectly honest that you are able to react and just get things out there. What made you see that that was a need, specifically that stress reliever part? Like, what was the thing that said, you know what,
Well,
I got to make this?
well, 35% of all corporate wellness programs are focused on stress management. Most chronic diseases are due to chronic stress. So most performance issues are caused by people losing their higher brain functionality and going more into their reptilian and mammalian brains so that they can't really perform at their highest level. So learning how to shift stress is not only good for your health, but it's also good for your performance.
Great. And you were just like, this is something I'm seeing a lot with my customers, or did you see this as a community as a whole issue?
Well, there's no shortage of stress people in the world. I
It's
think.
true.
And everyone tries coping with it in very dysfunctional ways, like overeating or over drinking or over something. Try to get rid of those uncomfortable sensations. But I've been practicing meditation for like 50 years. I was a meditation teacher. I traveled all over the country in the 70s teaching meditation. And I meditate every day, and just understanding that there's a place inside which is very safe, very comforting, very peaceful that you can come back to is a way to really understand there's no need to continue to operate completely in a stressed out state, that you can shift that and come back into your center. So having learned that and lived in an ashram for like 10 years in my 20s, understanding that that place is there, I wanted to bring that into the world in a practical way in terms of, so that's why I created the seminar, Winning at Work and at Life, is how to, most people win at work but lose at life because they're not connected to who they truly are.
Oh, you're so speaking my language. And I love that you talked about, what you did prior to this, because that was going to be one of my next questions is what led up to this. But I'm going to take it even a step back and just say, what made you get into meditation? No answer is wrong.
Well, I don't know. I started reading these books early on. Siddhartha was one of the books that was really important to me. Hermann Hesse. I got involved in Jungian psychology when I was a freshman at UCLA, and I just sort of was drawn to it and started practicing it. I had a guru from India
Oh, wow.
that I was gotten involved with, who came to America as a 16-year-old, and I learned about his meditation and became initiated into it when I was in my early 20s.
That's really, really cool. And that has just kind of been a guiding light for you, I'm going to assume, through business, is to always hang on to that mindfulness and that meditative lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, we all have this intuitive wisdom, but we don't trust it. So we don't really understand uh, exactly where we are, what we're doing. But when you tune in inside, you get more confident and more clear, and you learn to trust your vision and trust your passion and own it a little more, rather than just going into a survival mode of just trying to get by, look good, play it safe, and stuff like that.
I love all of that. And I am one of those people too that find it difficult to meditate. And I think one of the things that I hear a lot from entrepreneurs and business owners is they don't have time for it. So, is there any sort of tip that you could give them to make the time for that? And obviously, it's important.
Well, when you have an inner experience, it's more powerful and more interesting and more exciting than your outer experience. Meditation becomes like its own driver, its own motivation,
I
because
love it.
it helps center you. You have all these different energy centers in your body, and it's a very pleasurable experience. There's a lot of energy that gets unlocked. There's so many benefits, and it only takes sometimes just meditating 2 or 3 minutes. It's not a matter of time. It's more of a matter of connecting to that source of energy that's already inside of you.
Yeah, the reason I asked about time, or what I think my belief is why people say they don't have time, is because it's not seen as something to be taken seriously. Like if you say, I, worked 80 hours this week, people are like, oh man, you're tough. You got it together. You must have a successful business. But it's really about that whole brain, getting that whole brain working versus just being driven all of the time, that we physically really do need that break.
Well, a lot of us just think and think and think and think and think that's all there is thinking. But that's
Right.
only one part of the brain. There's other parts of your brain which are connected to a lot of other creativity and higher realms of wisdom and intelligence. So a lot of my good ideas, or a lot of my ideas for my products, are coming from learning how to go into a deeper state of consciousness. So their opportunity is really to get grounded in your true being. I mean, first we're human beings before we're human doings, but
Oh,
most of
I love
us
it.
just do, and all we have is a bunch of do at the end of the day.
Right.
But the quality of life, when you are centered and understand there's more than just thinking and doing, but there's being, enhances everything. It makes the quality of life much more special.
I think that's perfectly stated. So thank you for that. I've made it very clear too on the importance, as well as, we're not just here to do things. We are here to just exist and to be and to enjoy being humans. I will also ask you too, you probably didn't do this as a kid, I'm guessing, but maybe you did, being very, wise to this whole brain thinking. So when you were a kid, what did you do that was really fun and creative, that just kind of came intuitively? You got excited about it when you popped out of bed in the morning. What did little Alan do?
Well, that's a good question. One thing that comes to mind is when I was in 8th grade, my teacher had us create this thing called a utopia.
Oh, wow.
And it was like you create this whole village. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. And it was, creating an ideal world that you wanted to live in. And that sparked my creativity.
And what did that involve? What the creating this utopia? What did you include? Do you remember what you included in that?
Just a second.
No, that's all right.
I got back from Mexico.
If you did any traveling whatsoever, there's no explanation needed about a cold.
So, it just involved creating different things, like with clay or, crafting things.
Oh, wow.
But, the whole idea was to think what would be an ideal community to live in.
Mm-hmm.
So later on, I joined a spiritual community, and it was very much like that.
That's so cool. That's so cool that something like you did in the 8th grade was triggered to just kind of propel you into where you are today, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm going to ask, what do you do now that is creative or innovative, and you can't include your business because you have to be unplugged from that at some point. So, what is it that you do now that is really creative?
Pickleball.
Oh, no way! I think you might be my first person that brought up pickleball. That's so fantastic.
Pickleball is so fun, and you meet so many people. And I was playing tennis for like 20 years at my tennis, and all the tennis players were poo-pooing pickleball. They were very, tennis snobs, and oh my god! So they slowly started taking over the courts, and all the tennis people
Yeah.
were very upset about that. Oh my god! So anyway, I tried it out, and slowly I just play pickleball, and I don't play tennis. I play pickleball 3 times a week, and it, in terms of fun, it definitely hits that chord. And I just, actually just played pickleball in Mexico when I was there.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. It's 3 times a week too. So you're pretty hardcore. And do you find that does it do you have like a little like a lot of the same partners and things that you always are playing against and things like that, or do you go to a place where it's just kind of random sign up or things
Well,
like
I
that?
belong to a club, and that's the fun part. Also, is they have open play, and like 40 people will show up,
Oh my
and
gosh.
you have 8 courts, and you just keep switching off and play with older people, younger people, men, women, all play together, all different levels. It's like constant change. You just play for like 15 minutes one game, then switch and go to another court and play with somebody else.
I have tried it a couple of times and I kind of liked it. I don't know if I'm going to be as committed to 3 times a week as you are, but it's I like it because it's approachable for everybody, I guess, in a way. Like everybody can kind of do it as long as because it's so close. It's almost like a combination of ping pong and tennis and just fun. It's a really kind of a fun game and not too hard to learn the rules. Although every once in a
Well,
while I have
talk
people
about
telling me that.
whole brain. You use a whole different part of your brain when you play.
Yes, you do. Which is good because the whole point of this podcast is like let part that don't if you're constantly running on that one part of your brain, typically the left side, you got to give it a break. You'll come back so much stronger and with better ideas and more relaxed. And it's not about just like I said, constantly being on. It's you find some of your best ideas in that off time, and you might have just the next great idea during a pickleball match because
Oh
you've just
yeah.
completely let go.
Well, it's constant feedback. You learn so much because it's like wherever you are, it just manifests. Now you hit the ball, but it takes a certain amount of transition to like all day long. I'm in front of the computer, on the phone, doing this, doing that, and then the golden chains of the freedom of even though I'm an entrepreneur, I can do whatever I want
Exactly.
with my time. I'm just break away and just in a whole other world. People don't know I'm a CEO, don't know how much money I make, don't know anything, and just you're out there just to have fun.
Exactly. And that is a great way to kind of wrap this up is just to treat yourself. You deserve it. And I understand, and I'm sure you do too, the weight that is sometimes put on us as entrepreneurs and leaders, just that responsibility is like, I can't leave my station because I'm the leader. But if you do pickleball or whatever your choice is, when you come back, man, you're going to be so much stronger as a leader. So yes, go play for a little bit.
Yeah, to make a lot of good contacts that way, and
That's true. See,
good for
that's
networking.
that. We're going to totally sell this as a powerful way to grow your business. You're going to come back more innovative. You're going to make more connections. So yes, you have got to do this. It's got to be part of it. Thank you so much, Alan, today. I really, really appreciate your time and sharing your wisdom on this because, like I said, I think we're like minds and that we really believe in this whole brain thinking and how it just makes us stronger when we do take those breaks, take those moments, play a little bit, do something else, even if it's just a quiet meditation or walk or something like that. It's so valuable to us as humans, as leaders, and as entrepreneurs. So, thank you so much for your time today.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.